an entrepreneur here. Yani, since I came, my hair has changed. Yeah. In fact, it was a bit tough. But now when I touch, I feel like there's something. I'll tell you about this entrepreneur at some point, Tawasalimia. So you people are great. You are even turning hairs in the diaspora, you know, going to the shambas, you know. There are many talents, you know. Well, Miles, is it your first time in Toronto? It is, eh? I know you'll say hi to the gathering. Who else, this is their first time here? Mine is the second time in Toronto. It's not, don't shy away. I mean, who is Joseph Njoroge, first time? First time, Toronto, okay. Patrick, you are not saying, and I know this is your first day. Yes, yeah. Yeah, the first time I was here was in 2018. One person I remember, the only person I met, the oldest of me knowing in Canada is Jackie. We met in 2018 at our Salimia Badai. There was an interesting one where Edison and I came to Calgary to test a new aircraft for Jumbo Jet. How would you feel going into a plane that bado iko kwa karatasi? So that when you're in Kisumu flying, we see it. It was named Cozy. If you see Jumbo Jet called Cozy, Edison was the first to enter that plane. So when you are entering, then you are seeing passengers. Wengine ni mawaziri, unasema tu, waziri ajui mimi nilipanda hapa. Mbele yake. I hope we are not on air. We are, okay. That was on a light note. So we are already on air. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Daring Abroad Investment Forum, Toronto chapter. And we want to welcome all who are watching us live, wherever you are watching us from, and give us your comments. Tell us where you are watching from. We love it. I remember when we began this journey in Australia, this gentleman who said was watching us from Goma, Balozi, and Balozi used to be in Goma. So it is amazing that we can have this received across the world. So karibuni sana, wale wako online. You know, believe in Australia, they may have already woken up, I think. Yeah, or waking up. So karibuni. In Kenya, maybe some already are in bed, others are about to go to bed. In North America, it's daytime. So karibuni, and the audience, the gathering that is here, we really value you, and karibu to this forum. So let me begin by just giving a brief introduction. Again, my name is Alex Chamwada, CEO and founder of Chams Media Limited. So Chams Media Limited, we are known for producing content about Kenyans living and working abroad and their socio-economic impact back home, and bringing linkages between Kenya and the world and Kenya. And we diversified into organizing forums like these ones to educate ourselves about investment opportunities between the host country and Kenya. So the forums are an extension to content creation that we've been doing over the years, and we have our footprints across the world in almost every corner of the world. So we are based in Nairobi. Chams Media is a fast-growing company. We have over 30 employees. We have offices apart from Nairobi, we have offices in Kisumu and Lodwar. So apart from diaspora issues, we document quite a lot in Kenya, and our area of specialization is inspiration. We do informative content, educative content. We change lives through our content. We are non-controversial, non-partisan. We look at the positive side of things. And that's how our contribution to humanity. We believe that information is power. We believe that networking is power. So that's the purpose of what we are doing. So regarding the forums, we began in March in Australia. We were in 3 cities in Australia. We were in Perth City, Adelaide, and Melbourne. After Australia, we went to the UK, from the UK. UK was in May. I'm live, eh? Okay. So we went to the US. We began the journey with the presidential tour. We were part of the entourage of President William Ruto when he made a visit to the US, and it was a business visit. So that's why we were part of it. And we documented every bit of the trip from the Oval Office to the various deals that were struck during that visit. And then we continued with the forums like this. We were in Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, Baltimore, and then we went to New Jersey, went to Massachusetts, we went to Texas. We were in 2 cities, Dallas and Houston. We flew to Seattle, and we finalized with Wichita in Kansas State. And we want to mention here, we'll mention all the other partners, but to thank Unity Homes. We recognize them as having gone the full circle with us. Tuwapigie makofi. So many thanks to Unity Homes. They'll say a word or two in due course for, journeying with us from Australia to UK, 7 cities in the US and 3 cities in Canada. In Canada, we began with Edmonton, went to Vancouver, and now we are finalizing with Toronto. So thank you so much, Unity Homes. Once again, thank you so much, Unity Homes, for believing in this journey. Let me, secondly, appreciate Pazina Holiday Homes, who also have really believed in this and have been journeying with us. Joseph Joroge, raise your hand. Clap for Joseph. Yeah, asante sana. We want to thank Optiven. They began with us in Australia and have journeyed with us in all the regions. Asante sana, Optiven. Inua mkono tukuone. Yeah, thank you so much, True Group, for believing in Canada. When it comes to Canada, True Group were the first to step ahead. Let's clap for them. Yeah, we've been with the KCB and NSSF, and you've heard from Patrick and Jackie. KCB and NSSF are partnering to help the diaspora have their pension that you can manage yourself. Save through NSSF. There's a platform that you will use to save, and that is through KCB. There is a link which I think Patrick will share to you. So as we talk investment, KCB and NSSF also are here to support you in investing back home, manage your own pension, and also you can buy property. They have property. NSSF have property, and you can, own that property through KCB as your banker. And also on this journey, we have other developers. Patrick is representing them. He'll give a quick mention later on. And we want to appreciate also the local vendors here. We want to appreciate Tracy Muridhi, actually the youngest Kenyan realtor in Canada. Let's clap for Tracy. Yeah, I think I'm allowed to say your age. She's 23. Yeah. Gen Z. You see, Gen Z they're very powerful. Walivunja bunge. Nobody has ever vunjad, yeah? But sasa unaona Tracy at 23, amevunja, you say the glass ceiling, amevunja, imedonjo hiyo, ama namna gani? Yeah, very, congratulations, Tracy. We want to value my hairdresser, Lucy Njeri. In fact, when I go home, I think my wife will touch, and then who has done what to you? Okay, I'm sure she'll see this online. Thank you, Lucy, for being one of our partners. She specializes in beauty products. She'll tell you more about that. Then we had Marete, she left. Marete I think, sells Kenyan products. I think she said she'll be with us tomorrow. Is there any other local vendor I've forgotten? If I've not mentioned any other local vendor, I think everybody's mentioned. Biashara Africa Business Club, thank you so much for partnering with us, and you are welcome, guys, to join the African business community in Canada through Biashara Africa Business Club. Patrick will tell you more about Champs Adventures, which is a sister company to Champs Media Limited. I can go on and on and on, but that was just in a brief to appreciate our partners. Each will have a minute or so to say what they do. But again, I mean, it was important that I do this introduction. We've had others who've been with us in the other countries. In the US, we had about how many, Patrick? 20. Yeah, 20. And this is like testing the ground for Canada. And believe you me, we will have bigger sessions next year. So next session is to appreciate also the people who have made it happen. I want to appreciate Daniel Owinyo. He's busy, he's the organizer, for helping to coordinate. And he's worked very well with the various Kenyan communities here. I know Jeremy is here, will say a word from the Kenyan community in Ontario. And we look forward, so this tumepanda seed, so we look forward to collaborating even more, even in your other events. And you've networked with our partners, even when they're in Kenya, Laban can easily throw some Kaimpesa to your event. Laban, ama namna gani? Yeah, huwezi kuja tu hivi kule mandazi tu hapa alafu unaacha. Anyway, on a light note. So thank you so much. Allow me, I wanted to welcome Owinyo. Quickly, Jeremiah, come and say a word or two on behalf of the Kenyan community in Ontario. Tumpigie Jeremy makofi. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Again, my name is Jeremy Awori. I am the treasurer of Kenyan Community Ontario. I am truly blessed and I'm very grateful to be part of this group of good people around here. We don't take this thing for granted, and Alex has just said this is just the beginning of good things to happen, and KCO is looking forward to partner with these organizations to make it happen for Kenyans. Let's build Kenya for Kenya. Thank you very much.
Well done. Very short to the point. And again, of course, we've been talking since Tuesday when we landed, so we keep it short. Allow me to introduce Jackie Kariuki to say a word or two. She's also been instrumental, working very closely with Daniel to help coordinate this event. Karibu, Jackie, introduce yourself and say a word or two.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Toronto, to GTA. It's an honor to be here. I refer myself as KCB Mtaani. I'm here as a KCB agent, representing KCB. But even more, I'm here also for Biashara Africa Business Club, where we bring people in business. When we look around, we're talking about business. And sometimes we don't know where business are or where business people are or how we can connect. We have looked at other cultures like the Indians, the Caribbeans. They work together as a team. So for our Kenyan group, we looked around and we didn't see any group of professionals. And that's how we started this Biashara Club, where we meet once a month, where we want to encourage each other in terms of properties, businesses here in Canada and in Kenya. And not just for Kenyans, but for Africans. In Canada, we want to, when we meet, we are able to share information. We want to know if you want to, who can help you with your car maintenance or your hair or whatever business it is. We have a common area, a website where you can be able to go in there and find the service that you need or information that you need about businesses. But otherwise, I also work with the KCO. When I saw Alex is coming to Canada, I stepped in and I said, if you're coming here, why not meet KCO? Why not meet other members? And so I am so glad that you accepted for us to be able to host you and to be able to welcome you here. Come again, Asante. We have International Women's Day, which happens on the 3rd of March every year. And as women in Canada, Kenyans, we launched it last year. We had the wife of the deputy president come for it for the first time. This year, we had it for the second time. We had the first African-American retired judge who was our guest. So we are having the next one next year, 3rd March. So all women, you are invited to Canada for International Women's Day. Karibuni.
Thank you so much, Jackie. And for those who are just joining us online, is to remind you that our guest of honor today is acting High Commissioner, Kenya's High Commissioner to Canada, Ambassador Moni Manyage. He's the Deputy Head of Mission. Karibu sana, Balozi. Yeah, so Balozi Moni Manyage is our guest of honor today. So those who are online, thank you for joining us. Let me invite, is there another community leader? I may have left out. So all the others who've been supporting, Haron, thank you so much. Dressed in Masai, been spreading the word. He doesn't want to call himself a leader, but he's also helped quite a lot to promote this event. While I was still in Edmonton, he's told me he's heard about it, and he requested that I feature him. And he's come, dressed Kenyan style kabisa. Huyu ndio Mkenya kamili. Tumpigie makofi. Yeah, so we'll hear some encouraging remarks from Balozi about investment opportunities between Kenya and Canada, and also I'm sure he'll touch a little bit on your welfare here. You know, Canada is big, and he's told me there's so much that he wants to achieve together with his team, and it's a new team coming in, and together with you people. So he'll express himself at some moment. But let me give a minute or two to each of our partners here. I'll begin with Pazina Holiday Homes. Joseph Njoroge.
Yes, hatujambo. Yes, my name is Joseph Njoroge. Sisi ni watu wa Pwani. Specifically Diani, that's where we have our properties. And why we went to Diani is because we saw a gap, and we thought this was a good opportunity for us and for our customers. And for sure, it turned out to be even much more than we expected. We have been able to sell hundreds of acres of land in Diani. Those are beach properties. And most importantly is the report, the message that we are getting from our customer. Today in the morning, I got one who bought land with us last month. And he said that before he bought, he decided to go and see what we have. And the moment he saw it, she just went for it, and she purchased. And today she came with her daughter to buy another piece. So it is evident what we are selling is the most precious kind of property you can have in the entire coastal region of Kenya. And we are encouraging all of us to partner with us. Come, let us build Diani, because this is an area where investors from all over the world, tourists from all over the world are flocking. So it is an opportunity for us as Kenyan, because when I go around, I've been going around with Chamwada from Australia to Europe to America, and I've not seen a beach as good as the beach we have in Diani. So this is our heritage, this is our opportunity for us to take advantage. And the other thing I want to mention is that we are giving special discounts whenever we go to any country, and people who are able to reserve within the next 3 months, we give them a very special discount. And we also want to encourage young people who are here. There are those people who came to Canada in the last 1 year. we are also considering that they are building up. So we also consider giving them special discount and also giving them a long period of repayment period. I think I do not want to take a lot of time because I have already been able to engage with a number of us. So the few have not engaged, please let us talk from the desk. And I want also to appreciate Kenyans in Canada. We went to Australia and I thought Kenyans in Australia were the best. Lakini hapa I've been shocked because every day we are being invited for dinner. Every day I'm being asked, do you have time? We take you around. May God bless you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Jackie, and of course many of us who have invited us. God bless you so much. Keep watching you, expand you, and of course bless the entire family. Thank you.
Clap for Njoroge. Wow. Thank you for those powerful speeches. We'll come to our host in a moment, but let me just comment about Pazina Holiday Homes. And it's in this context that ours are not just physical forums, come, sit here and talk to each other and go home. No, it's a journey where most of our sponsors here have been with us in content creation. So the physical forum with desks, with the banners, is here, but you'll find them on our content all over, so that they are marketing themselves through our stories, through sponsoring some of our shows. Like Pazina Holiday Homes sponsors a series known as Eye on Coast. So any developments that are happening in Coast, you'll get to know them thanks to the sponsorship of Pazina Holiday Homes. Tuwapigie makofi. And there is actually, I've met 3 people here who said they knew Pazina Holiday Homes through the content. One said, I watched the story you did about Dongokundu bypass and the expected impact on the economy in the coastal region. And through that story, she was able to know more about Pazina Homes, because as sponsors, we get to mention them and say what they do. So you can see that our exhibition, there's that exhibition, the desk, but our exhibition is out there. It is online. And those watching us, if you have any comment, kindly let us know. We'll appreciate you at some moment. So thank you so much, Pazina Holiday Homes. You can see the linkages. And, you have clients who will move from Pazina to get land. Then they know for some property, this price, high end, I'll go to Unity Homes. And then I need some cash flow, I'll go to True Group. You see, I need a banker, I'll go to KCB. So it's all intertwined. And everyone has something to be appreciated for. While we appreciated Unity Homes for going all how many cities are there? Count, Patrick, you let me know. All of them, Pazina missed only one. But you see, they are bigger in content, supporting content creation. And we've done also content with the Unity Homes and so many of our partners. So asanteni sana, we can't help but to keep appreciating our partners. Allow me to introduce Unity Homes, again, a minute or so. Karibu. Tumpigie Laban makofi. Laban Tanui. Do you know where I met Laban Tanui for the first time? Maju. We met in Nairobi, Unity Homes. USA. Sema.
Gotapka in USA.
Yes, we met at an event known as Gotapga. And thank you, Gotapga. They are listening to us. Gotapga is the Kalenjin community in the US. There are quite many, and they have chapters, I think, in 14 states. They just had another one gathering this year. Was it in June? Yes. So they normally have an annual meeting of the entire community in the US. Then each chapter has also their meetings. So they invited us to document them, to cover them, and that's where I met Laban, and the talk began there. Tuanze kushirikiana. Tumeshirikiana au sio? Endelea.
Thank you very much, Alex. Good evening. Huko kwenu inakaa mchana lakini ni jioni. Anyway, thank you very much, and what an opportunity you've given us. Congratulations Daring Abroad, Chams Media, because we've managed to work together. Why Chams Media is because these people have enabled us to really build a market outside Kenya, and especially our Kenyans who are abroad. Because 50% of our sales are coming from Kenyans who are away, not just the local market. And I really want to appreciate you for that. Unity Homes. It's been in existence for the last 10 years. We started in Eldoret. How many of you knows Eldoret? Eldoret. Thank you. So we did 245 units in Eldoret about 10 years ago. And then we moved to Tatu City, where we are currently. When you hear Tatu City, there's Konza, and then there's Tatu. How many of you know Tatu City and the location? Thank you. I can see a few of us know. So now, Tatu City is located in Kiambu County, about 23 kilometers from CBD, Nairobi. Yeah, we are nearing Ruiru prisons. Yeah, so there's 5,000 acres. I would say in Tatu City, that's actually Toronto. Because when you're in Tatu City, everything you have here and the vision, of course, we've not achieved it like 100%, but where we're heading to in the next 10 years is the Toronto that you have here. So you'll never go wrong investing in Tatu City, Unity Homes. So our plan is to deliver about 3,000 units. So far, we've done 1,200, which are complete and have been delivered. 1,800 is what is happening now, a work in progress. And for your information, the occupancy rate, we are between 98 and 99% on occupancy rate levels. In terms of yield, I would say we have from one-bedroom apartments that are going from 5.9 million shillings. We have two-bed from 9.5 million shillings. We have three-bedroom from 19.5 million shillings. And we have the townhomes, which are from 35.9 million Kenya shillings. In terms of yield on the investment, is the one-bedroom is the rental income is between 34,000 and 35,000. The two-bed is from 54,500 to 58,500. The three-bedroom is from 100,000 shillings, and then now the townhomes is from 250,000 shillings a month in terms of rent. Maybe just to give you a small history of what's happening, as we speak now, every 14 hours, when you count 14 hours, we are able to deliver a unit at Unity Homes. So ukiona 14 hours imeisha, kuna nyumba imeshajengwa na Unity Homes in Kenya because of the technology that we use. Yeah, so every 14 hours, nyumba imejengwa. 14 hours, nyumba imejengwa. Because the vision is to mass produce many houses of quality, of course, in Nairobi. Now, karibuni sana. We look forward to meeting you, and you'll never go wrong investing in Tatu City, Nairobi. Asante sana.
And also to appreciate our online audience. As I told you, we are being watched from across the world. Alfred Orido says he's watching us from Nakuru, Kenya. Kwani hujalala? Is that by the way, Kenya? Midnight. Huyo ni Marekani huyo. Thank you so much, Alfred. Nakuru, spread the word. We have Francis Mwambula, Kansas, USA. Thank you, Francis. We have Nehemiah Nesh. He says, keep shining. Legend Sir Alex Chamada. He's watching us from Edmonton. We have Isaiah Bwabi watching us from Lavingware. Lavingware is you are in between Lavington and Kawangware. Lavingware. Isaiah, clap for Isaiah. Lavingware. Isaiah Bwabi. Yeah, there are a couple. Kisi also. Zach Enoch Thank you. Mboya mno, tumeona managu inaitwaje kwa Kisii? Managu. Yeah, tumetuna managu huko Edmonton. Thank you so much, Zach, for watching us from Kisii. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give a minute to Hassan, our host here. Hassan, is it? Karibu sana Hassan. He's been here. Clap for Hassan. Yeah. You know, just making sure everything is okay. Alileta chai asubuhi sana. Yani kabla wageni wafike chai ilikuwa. Can you imagine? No, you are not waiting for wageni. You bring chai and everything. So thank you so much. Come and say hi to the gathering. Ni wakwetu huyu. You can see the entrepreneurial spirit, is it? Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yeah.
Habari. Napenda kutoa shukurani, nitazungumza Kiswahili, sitaki Kiingereza. Napenda kutoa shukurani kwa ambassador huu ambao tulikutana I think 4 months ago kama siku ya June. Na most of my client ni wa Kenya. Right now, like the number of Kenyans to our restaurant imeenda juu. Na washukuru wa Kenya ambao mko hapa Canada. And it's not about si hapa peke yake hii kufanya event, also in our restaurant. Like in weekend time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I might get around 50 to 60 Kenyan every week who they're coming through to our place. And also I like one thing, as a Kenyan, I grew up in Kenya, by the way. I'm in Somali, but I grew up in Kenya. I started kindergarten in Kenya, and then I move on here. But what I love about Kenyan people, we are very unique. That's something make me so proud whenever I see a Kenyan outside. I didn't know his ambassador the day one when he came in, and I just grabbed his hand. Mr. Mauro was saying, he's our new ambassador, because I used to know Abdishkur and them. And I was like, okay, whenever you come to Toronto, if you don't come here, we're going to have a fight. Which is he did today, he's here. Invest back home. There is no question on that. Invest back home for your own reason. Usione hao jamaa wame travel all the way from Kenya to here, they're tricking you guys to get money. No. If you don't invest now, after 10 years, you will regret. I have a short story of myself. There were land was sold by 3,000 USA in Nyali. I'm talking about 10 years ago. And I was like, no, this guy, they tried to rob me, whatever. And I went to have a night on that land. I paid 21,000. They invested. They have around 23 floors. To rent one apartment room is 21,000 Kenya shilling for a night, just to stay a night. Imagine if that they put those 3,000. Could have been a billionaire today. But Mungu alikuwa hajaandika, so invest back home. Na washukuru wa Kenya ambao wako hapa na ambao wako outside of Kenya na ambao wako USA. Whenever you come to Toronto, come see us as Easter Restaurant. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, and this is quite encouraging. That if you go to the live link, don't go because it will distract you. You've been watched so far by 1,000 people. Yeah, 1,000. So you can see this is a huge, huge forum. This forum is global. Thank you so much, our online audience, and allow me to introduce True Group. Yeah, Zoe. Zoe is very physically fit, and he'll introduce Sakina. Hawa wakianza mbio hapa na mtawapata. Very physically fit. Karibu, Zoe. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alex. I'm joined here by Sakina. We are from True Group. So Sakina, what do we do?
We build things. So our main intention is we want to impact as many lives as possible. So that means the lives of investors outside and the lives of the people in Riruta. So we have created an apartment complex in Riruta specifically for now, phase 1, where we aim to impact the lives of the we aim to impact the lives of the people there by by increasing the standard of living. So if you notice the developments around in that area, you'll notice they're not as great as ours. So our main logo, our main mission statement is affordable luxury. We want there to be that opportunity for people in Riruta, the young professionals just starting out in life, to be able to live in a premium house, which feels like a house in Kilimani. So that's what we do.
Perfect. Perfect. So we started the journey because we built things, and we saw an opportunity in the affordable housing space. And I'm trying to convince our guest of honor to buy a couple of units, which I think I'm convincing. And it's a good investment. What are we doing? I think, Sakina, we heard from Sakina that we're uplifting people's lives. And at the same time, it's not a charitable organization. We are making a profit out of it. So you get a nice yield out of it. 2.3 million shillings, it's possible, right? With 2.3 million shillings, we get 17 to 20,000 shillings back, and it goes straight into your account. So good opportunity. We need an anchor back home. We need to see what does cash flow look like. Early on, and that's what I'm trying to convince Sakina to understand, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. So Sakina, can you tell us a little bit about cash flow? What does cash flow mean, and how do you tie it up to real estate and real estate investment? What have you understood?
So from my understanding, which hopefully he's done well enough, from my understanding, cash flow means investing back home, investing in equity, and having that money continuously sweating for you. So rather than just parking it in a bank account where you're paying terrible bank charges, you'd rather put it in real estate where you're getting that money coming back continuously. And at the end of the day, you're uplifting lives. Cash flow.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here. And the sound of the clap shows me that, yes, we have investors coming on board. Thank you, Alex.
Asante. Tuwapigie makofi tena. Let me change the course and go to Lucy Njeri. You tell us how you are daring Maju. She's very daring. Let's clap for Lucy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's been an honor meeting you and seeing all the great work that you're doing, which is encouraging and inspiring, and allowing us that are dreaming and living out here to know that we are on the right cause. So my name is Lucy Njeri, and our brand is Curls Defined. Our mission and our vision is to empower women to really be able to identify who they are and live in their true nature. And when I say true nature, it's to really embrace ourselves as African women. We have a full brand line of products that are developed by me, the brand owner. And when we think about ourselves as African Black, unfortunately, there's not much that has been out there for us. And through the grace of God, I was able to create something that has changed my life and changed many, many communities. So for women, embracing who we are naturally, and I start from the hair, embracing how we can be able to manage our hair, manage our own beauty, and in the process of that, in a healthy manner, from where we understand that we are empowered from within, outward, so that when we show up with the right products, good health, all the things that support us as human beings, when we step out, then we are living powerfully. So again, the brand is Curls Defined, and simplifies natural hair, natural products developed by us. So check us out on curlsdefined.com. Yes, so thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Quickly, let's hear from Tracy, the youngest realtor in the room. Eh? Yeah, karibu sana. Very daring.
Thank you so much, Alex. My name is Tracy Mureithi. I am a Gen Z realtor, if you'd like to call it that. And thank you. Basically, I started my business 2.5, 3 years ago when I was 20. And basically what I do is sell real estate here in Canada. So be it condos, pre-construction, so buying, selling, leasing, I do all that. And yeah, it's good to see people who are doing real estate back home and to see how we can invest back home. But also we need to remember, we also need to remember where we live and the type of real estate we'll be owning here too. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's clap for Tracy again. Yeah, Gen Zs, thank you. You've seen there the power of this generation, and our online team is growing. They are saying, recognize me also, SK Chomba Ujasema, you are watching from where, but thank you so much. We have someone from Kamakis, Jackson Louise, thank you so much from Kamakis. And Andy Mwas, thank you, Ujasema uko wapi. There's someone from 001. 001 is where? Mombasa. Hey, yeah. Tuwapigie makofi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Optiven. Karibu. Yeah. Very energetic guys. And they compete us in broadcasting. You know, they are broadcasting, and you've not seen their CEO. Anchor. CEO mwenyewe ni anchor. Jen hata hajaanza, wacha uone sasa. Jen, shika microphone.
Thank you, Sam. Good evening. All protocol observed. My name is Jen Kiarie from Optiven. Greetings from our CEO, Dr. George Washuri. And he's a great captain. Only this year, he has scooped the best CEO, you know, in Kenya. And I can confirm that he's the best. Optiven has been in operation for 24 years, and it is 24 years of great impact to the society and to the community in Kenya and beyond Kenya. And I believe Canada is beyond Kenya. And that's why we are here. I told you, wherever you go, nitawafuata. So nimewafuata here, and I thank God that I found you. You are very welcoming, and we thank God for you. And Optiven is known for 5 things. Quickly, I'll go through them. And number 1, Optiven is known for excellent services. Yeah, we value you too much, so we give excellent services to our customers. Number 2, Optiven is known for award-winning. It's an award-winning company. Yeah, in one we are, just right now we have so many awards we have scooped because our area is to satisfy our customers. Number 3, Optiven is known for delivering our promises. If we say your title deed is coming in 3 months, it is in 3 months, and it is not 3 months and a half. And our CEO do something. If you doubt that, he usually write a letter and sign it to say if your title deed will not be out in 3 months or 6 months or whatever months according to the properties we have, we'll refund your money 100%. Okay? And through that, we have gained trust in so many countries. Number 4, we give back to the community and the society. Hatukurangi sisi tu peke yetu. 5% of the money that comes, for example, if you purchase a property with us, 5% of that goes to Optiven Foundation. And what does Optiven Foundation do? The work of Optiven Foundation is to educate children, is to take care of the elderly, and we give mobility for the disabled. Number 5, and it is the last one, we sell value-added properties. We don't just give you a bare land. What we do, we give you water, we give you electricity, we give you security, we give you solar street lights. In other projects, we give you CCTV and cabros, and we plant trees just to purify your air. And in other projects, we do swimming pools. We have over 70 projects that are completed, and we have over 10,000 happy clients. Please join the happy clients in Optiven, and we value you. God bless you.
Makofi kwa Jen again. Yeah, thank you, Jen. Those who've joined us, thank you so much for joining us. We are going through some quick presentations. We thought we begin with that before we give our guest of honor space to give us some remarks so that atakuwa amewasikiza, amejua mmetoka wapi. And you can see it's a rich pool of vendors from both Canada and Kenya. So it's going on well. Locally, I think, Jackie, you spoke as a community leader, although kaingiza kidogo biashara, but I want to give you an opportunity again to speak now as a vendor, and you tell us what you are doing here and who you are representing. Karibu, Jackie. Yeah. Tumpigie. Unatafuta Mwakenya. Who knows Mwakenya? Mwakenya. If you know Mwakenya, then you are almost my age. Karibu, Jackie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, welcome to Champs Media. Welcome to Canada, and even more, welcome to KCB Mtaani. We have KCB in Canada, and people always ask me, where is the bank, where is the branch, and where can I find KCB? And I tell them it's online. So it's called Diaspora Banking. And what I do is I represent KCB since they opened the diaspora. That was, I think, 2016 or 15. They were in the US launching diaspora. I called them. I told them it's Canada. We have Kenyans in Canada. And that's how they were able to come here. What does KCB diaspora do? When you open an account, or if you have an account at home, you are able to have peace of mind because you have access of your account online. You are able to see all your transactions. If your money goes to the bank, you are able to see it on your email or on your phone, depending on how you set it up. If you want to send money, pay school fees, all those middle people have been put aside so that you can do that all by yourself. If you have a KCB account online, once you log in, you'll see all the businesses you can do. You have the transactions, you can pay school fees, you can pay bills, and anything else. And as an agent, what do I do for you? I'm not an employee of KCB, but mimi ni Mkenya damu, so I love KCB, and I promote them because the services they offer, the products they offer is, if you want to buy any of these properties being advertised here, you can get them very easily through KCB. As a diasporian, when you open an account, when you put your money there, and then you want to buy True Homes or you want to buy Optiven farm, you go to KCB, they'll give you the money. They will not ask you for a title. They will not ask you for collateral. What will they ask you for? They want to know that you have an income. They'll want to see your bank statement for the last 6 months. They'll also want to see that you are employed, or what is your source of income if you're in business. If you're employed, they'll want to see your employer, letter from your employment for the last 3 months. So KCB has a very good package that they give people in diaspora so that you can be able to access properties either in Kenya or even here. They make you to get Kenyan money easily. Also, they have what we call insurance. We have our benevolent funds here. KCB has insurance too. And you can do that by getting a premium with them. Once you're a KCB member, you can buy insurance with them, which will cover you and your children. Before, it used to be all your children. But I think now they say children up to 21 years or 24 years if they're in school. Anybody else beyond that can open a bank account. But also with that insurance, you also be able to get money immediately. If you lose your loved one, your parent or your children, you're able to get money within 24 hours for benevolent. So KCB, I'm at that corner. come and see me. And KCB in Kenya, if you're hearing me, customer service, we want it to improve so that we can get more people.
Wamekusikia loud and clear. I'm sure there is people are watching live. Thank you. Wilson Luganji watching from Matasia. Let me ask a question. Lucy, do you know where Matasia is? Yes, it's in near past Ngong, between Ngong and Kiserian. So we have a viewer there, Wilson. Thank you. Thank you, Wilson, for watching us. Yes, you heard about KCB. KCB is one of our valued partners in these forums. Thank you so much, KCB, for coming on board. And KCB is now partnering with the NSSF to give the diaspora something. And on that note, I would like to invite Patrick Okinda to tell us about the other partners we are representing, beginning with NSSF. And before Patrick comes, let me just introduce him a little more. Patrick is our project manager of the Daring Abroad Investment Forums. Tumpigie makofi. Yeah, every vendor knows Patrick, you know, Pato, Rick, anajulikana kama Rick. From Australia, UK, US. Thank you so much, Patrick, for really piecing this thing together, the forums, and we know you've gained a lot of wealth of experience for us to do it even much better next year. So Patrick Okinda, karibu, and tell us about the other partners we have through Chams Media. Tumpigie Patrick makofi.
Thank you so much, Alex. We appreciate your leadership, and that's why we have been able to come this far. So as you've heard, my name is Patrick Okinda, and we are very grateful for the support we've been receiving from you, all the way from Australia, and now we are in Canada. This is, I think, the 13th city, Alex. So I am talking on behalf of NSSF. They were not able to come, but through the partnership that we have been able to sit down and understand the products they're trying to launch that are quite good and lucrative to the diaspora. And I'll want to focus on Haba Haba. Haba Haba is a new product by NSSF in partnership with MasterCard and KCB that allows you to be able to contribute to the National Fund, National Social Security Fund, in all flexible terms that you can imagine about. If it is about being digitized, it's a digital platform, so you'll always transact on your phone. And if it's about flexibility, you do not have to contribute monthly like it used to be for the conventional way of saving. So with Haba Haba, you can contribute in your own flexible ways because the design of this product recognizes that perhaps you don't earn monthly, perhaps you earn in varying frequencies. And it also is able to accommodate any amount. So you can be able to set your own targets and be able now to create customized installments that can work for you. So it's not cast on stone. And the vision behind this is to make it possible for people who are unique in the way in which they earn. That could be you don't earn within the Kenyan banking system, or you don't actually work in the corporate sector in Kenya, or you're not a civil servant, or perhaps you even live outside the country like most of us here in the diaspora. You should not be left behind when it comes to saving towards your retirement. So that is the Haba Haba product by NSSF in partnership with MasterCard and KCB. And in case you have any further queries, I am at that table. I know some of you would want to ask. Before I left Kenya and came here to Dare Abroad, I was already a member of NSSF, and I do not know maybe if I can continue saving. So if you have any such questions, we can be able to address them at that table. Or maybe some of you also have parents who are maybe at that age of retirement and you're trying to make your follow-ups and you just have queries about NSSF. We can meet at that table. So what we are doing is basically to get to sample your feedbacks. Feedback that can best be addressed from Nairobi, we'll be able to relay it so that you get feedback from the best source, but also what we can sort at that table from an information perspective, we can be able to help you out with that. So that is about NSSF, who are our partners. We've been with them across the tour, and we are continuing to just sensitize and create awareness about the product called Haba Haba. So I have a question for you. Just to joggle your minds, how can translate haba haba into English? Now that maybe some have it. Yes. Small, small. Any other person? Any better attempt? Little by little? Yeah, all those are correct answers. So the essence of haba haba is to accommodate every small saving and compound it so that at some point in your life, it will really matter in taking care of your retirement.
The link and the property.
Okay.
You share in their groups.
Thank you. I'm well guided. So we have a link that can take you to the NSSF portal that will enable you to be onboarded on Haba Haba. Through the emails, for those ones who have given me your emails, we'll be able to share it with you. But also, maybe if you just want to pass by and get that link, we can always share it with you. There's a link that can help you to really access the platform real quickly. So I'll want to proceed to the next organization that you're representing. So at that table there, with the Champs Media branding, we also have other partners who are supporting this vision. Before I proceed, we try to vet our partners before we come because we understand that this market is quite cautious. While you are optimistic about investing, you are also cautious. And our job is also to try and play our part in just trying to verify a few things that could look basic, but they go a long way in ensuring that when you're investing in a credible organization. So among them, we have an organization called Alba Gardens. Alba is a company that develops properties in Kilimani. They had their first project near Kilimani police station. It is complete and it's sold out. So right now they have another property that we are currently selling in Dagoretti Corner. How many of us know where Dagoretti Corner is? Using the simplest directions possible from bus station. Who can help? Yes, Jackie. Take me to Dagoretti Corner from bus station. Thank you. Any better attempt from Lavington or from where? From Karen? Jeremy from Karen? Okay. Oh, great. So those are the landmarks you need to look out for. Kenya Science, there's a Junction Mall, there is Ngong Road. When you hear about that now, you get to get the perspective of Dagoretti Corner. So it's a location that is very close to major commercial centers in Nairobi, people who are working in Kilimani, Upper Hill, CBD, in those busy areas where heavy employment happens. People working in those areas will most likely want to live also close by. And that's why the Dagoretti Corner is important, especially if you're looking to buy a unit to rent out. So we have units from studios ni kama bed sitter, that is a bit improved. And then we also have 1 beds, we have 2 beds. Prices are ranging from 1.9 million, you can be able to make a commitment and start owning your property. And in case you're wondering how you'll get your tenants and be able now to maintain your business from here, there's a management company that can be able to do that work for you, getting a tenant and managing the tenancy. So I'll also want to talk about magnet developers who are our partners. I do not know if any of you people have been to Nairobi and seen magnet all over. So there's the magnet side of real estate. Magnet side of real estate basically is selling land in various locations. Among the locations that we are currently selling is Limuru. There's an estate called the Stables in Limuru. You have seen a booklet there with a horse in front there. That's the concept, creating a community where you can live with your horses there and be able to have a lifestyle that is horse-friendly in Limuru. Apart from that neighborhood in Limuru, we also have Kitengela, we have Lukenya, we have Naivasha, we have Kedong, we have all those various destinations where you can buy land for your various purposes. You can buy land to build a home, you can buy land to build a piece of unit for renting out, depending with your priorities. In case any of those locations are the places you've been looking for, I'm right there. Allow me to finish by also mentioning our final partners. I am part of them. That is Champs Adventures. So I You know Champs Media and the work we've been doing. We have a sister called Champs Adventures, and Champs Adventure is majorly inclined towards helping you have some holiday whenever you are in Kenya. And it could be, you know, your holiday needs could vary from one case to another. Maybe you want to treat your parents back home, or maybe you're preparing to come home and you want to hang out with your group. It could be your family group, your church group, your boys group, your girls group. It could be that maybe you want to maybe have a vacation as a couple. So whichever holiday or vacation needs you have, we can help you we can help you sort out your bookings, your accommodation, your logistics, and even help you in terms of travel advisory, because the advantage with Champs Adventures is that from our background in Champs Media, we have good history of travel and to many destinations, and we do not sell destinations that you have not sampled. That increases your confidence in our level of understanding on the various destinations you'll be looking for to do your vacation. Thank you so much, and thank you, Alex, for making this possible. Asanteni.
By the way, balozi, tulienda shule moja na Patrick. Si ati nilimfavor nikamleta Champs, hapana. Nilikuta tu ameingia. Then after a year, after a few months, do you know I was in your school, St. Peter's Mumias High School? Yeah. Oh, do you know you came and gave us a talk? Niseme mwaka ama watajijazia miaka yako?
No, I'm still looking for.
Okay, a clap for Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. Yes, yeah. Great guy from St. Peter's Mumias High School. Hata hao wasikie mzuri, you know, watu wa St. Peter's Mumias High School. Ama namna gani? Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Allow me to, is there there's one more local vendor? I can't remember who, but where's Betty Ajarudi? Betty Marete Ajarudi. Akirudi mniambie. Yeah. Karibu, 1 or 2 words, and then we move to the next level. Ile ambayo mnangoja. And those watching online, thank you so much. There's one who is saying, mumsaidia apate visa kuje America. Balozi, maybe you'll address that. Yeah, I mean Canada. Mumsaidia apate visa akuje Canada. Karibu. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome to most of you who are new to Toronto. And personally for me, I was here for KCB and Biashara Africa, but I do also run businesses on the side. So I have an Amazon business. So it's not really related to Kenya, but I can work with other businesses. So if you have a small business and you have products that you want to sell on Amazon, I do have an Amazon store. I do have products that I sell on Amazon. So when you guys are doing your Prime shopping, I'm the one putting those products in there. So yes, I have that. And I also have a nonprofit. This one is in Kenya. So we work with kids from like around 6 years old to like 15 who have disabilities and their families are not able to support them. So we help with the medical bills, we help with like taking them to the hospital or like the little things that they need around the house. That's me. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. But so yes, so that's what I do. And on top of that, I am also a student. So it's my last year and just juggling all this is pretty difficult, but I love it. I love what I do. And yes, so that's me. Thank you.
I'll give you another breather. This was quite nostalgic. This was in Vancouver. So a certain lady approaches me. I can't remember. Unikumbuki? A certain lady. Yeah, Unikumbuki? Yeah, trying to sema niambie tu, you know, wewe unanijua definitely, maybe because of what I do. Then ananiambia, the year 2002, you did something that transformed my life. Then I said, what is that? Ukumbuki? No, just tell me. You know, I didn't know you, you didn't know me, but my mom, who also didn't know you, you didn't know my mom, reached out to you when you were working for KTN News Channel at Nyayo House. KTN used to be based at Nyayo House. My mom asked me to reach out to you to help me fill visa forms to go to Canada. So you went with me to a cyber cafe around Kenyatta Avenue. So generous. You helped me. I was missing this. We dashed, we ran around with you. I got the visa. All that. Yeah, it's not to really brag, but I normally just being inspirational and telling you how networks work. And she's doing well. You know, she's in Vancouver, and her mother also, I managed to get the mother's number. I spoke to her. The mother is in Mombasa. So, you know, look at that. How many years are those? 2002 to? Yeah, the power of networks. Is there any question thus far before we invite our guest of honor? Any question? It could be to our vendors, or maybe you want to be ahead of our guest of honor and ask something that you want him to address. So I'm just giving you a chance. If you have, feel free. Normally, it's difficult to get the first one to shoot. But after the first one speaks, then we'll have everybody. Any question? Meridika? Online, if you have any question, throw it my way. I will ask on your behalf if you are watching us online. And I want to recognize Reverend Susan in the congregation. Simama wakuone. Just stand up. Yeah, let's clap for her. Thank you. Balozi Moni Manyange. Sijui ni wapi na wapi na wapi, but we've met so many times in Nairobi. I think you are still in Nairobi with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You are slimmer. Yeah. Majui imekubadilisha. Yeah. So at some point we met in Goma. You know, Goma is a very, when it comes to Kenyan community, a very vibrant city in terms of the vibrancy of the Kenyan community. Goma is in eastern DRC. And Kivu is what? Kivu is the region. Okay. Yes. So I met Balozi Moni Manyange in Goma. This is 2022, I think, or 2023? It's just recent. Yeah, and we were discussing business. We were discussing this. We hadn't even started the investment forums. And actually, one of his encouraging words was go beyond telling the story. So there is telling us the story about the Kenyan who owns a restaurant in London. And there is the story of multiplying that through meeting Kenyans and having gatherings like this. And actually, one of the big gatherings we ever had during our tours, we were just doing stories in Goma, was in Goma, where through his effort linked me to one or two people, and we had a community of Kenyans, so many of them, and they invited one of the best Rumba artists in Goma. We enjoyed our stay in Goma. Barely a year, nakutana naye tena huku majuu. Watu wasemanga huku ndio real majuu. Huku ndio American, Canada ndio majuu kabisa. I'm glad that I've met you again here in Toronto. And thank you so much for your support. It's been very instrumental in helping us to make it happen. So on that note, Balozi, I would like to welcome you to give us some encouraging remarks about business opportunities between the two countries. And I'm sure you have a lot about the welfare of Kenyans here. Tumpigie Balozi makofi.
Good evening. I've traveled quite a journey, with Alex. For some reason, they say there are about 7 billion people in the world right now. But God is good. You may not meet 50,000 of those people one-on-one. So Alex happens to be one of those I've met so many times, meaning he's taking chances with other people I should be meeting. But it's always a reason to do, to meet Alex, and the kind of thing is done like now this event today. First of all, I want to thank all of you for taking time to be here. I have so many things to say, but then I want to talk about maybe the $1 billion story, $1 billion story. one thing why I like this event, what we do, I will start from what we do as the High Commission here in Canada. And I know most of the Kenyans don't know the full, plank of what a mission does. What most people know we do is what we call consular. Consular caters mainly for what we call diaspora diplomacy. Like now, partly what we are here to do is diaspora diplomacy and economic diplomacy. So we do consular is to make sure that, for example, last Sunday, a Kenyan from Montreal calls. I actually get a text from the incoming High Commissioner. She's still in Nairobi, but watu wa network yake washaanza kumwambia watu wetu wana matatizo Canada. So this lady had gotten a job in IATA. IATA is in Montreal. Montreal is just in Quebec. IATA is the cartel for airlines. Kenyans are some of the brightest people. They are some of the best employees. So again, in the story I'll be speaking today I'll be talking about Kenyan as employees and Kenyan as employers. We've done a fantastic job as employees. So for today, I think we'll focus more on Kenyans being employers. So this lady had been sacked. The sacking was not fair because she just came to Canada in March. And now this August already, she was already planning to bring her son from Kenya. Then the good people at IATA decided to sack her. Then they frustrate her and she's not then she tells them, I need to go home. So they call us, and what you need to do is to tell IATA, whatever you do, make sure that this girl gets her ticket to go home. The other issues, now we will liaise with the Kenyans, atuandikie story mzuri, then we go chasing IATA down and telling them, you don't discriminate against Kenyans. So you see, we make sure that we fight for our Kenyan when they're being mistreated. So the moment we wrote that letter to IATA, the ticket, IATA wrote to confirm to us that they have sent her the ticket, and she got her ticket and she went home. So now we are waiting for the story to fight for her. That is one thing we do as a mission. And we do it religiously. Sometimes there are gaps, because like all organizations, one or two, not everybody does their job the way they're supposed to be doing it. Then we do diaspora diplomacy. Diaspora diplomacy is trying to say, in Canada, we are slightly above 50,000 and or below. The Canadian government says we are just 29,000. But you can understand. So those are the figures for you guys who want to sell here. So those are your numbers. So for this diaspora, we must make the diaspora thrive. We don't have money, as you can imagine, as Chamwada was saying, Gen Z ransacked Parliament. You understand the finance bill was cut, so there's no money. But we need to see how best do we work with diaspora to empower them so that they are empowered. So that element is called diaspora diplomacy. There is economic diplomacy. Economic diplomacy is tourism, is trade, is investment, is so that they can send money, which interlinks with diaspora diplomacy. Right now, what we're doing here is, first of all, Kenyans are investing back home, and we also want Kenyans back at home to invest here so that they can make all these other things successful. Of course, we do what we call representational work. Representational work is like now the president is coming to the General Assembly in New York, and he would like to see the Canadian Prime Minister. So we try to make sure that information reaches the Canadian Prime Minister that our president would like to meet you. So we also do that bit. Having, as Alex says, done my commercial about what we do here, now I come back to my story about the $1 billion business. You see, in Kenya, the people who are engaged for employment are 4.5 million. Approximately. Out of those, slightly over 2 million, in fact, of almost 2.5, are employed by government in one form or the other. So the private sector employs about 2 million. If you compare that, that is a population of 55 million people. So averagely, if we even said 5 million people have jobs, if every one person who is employed supports 5 people. You see now, when we talk about issues of poverty, how they come about. On the other hand, in Canada is I normally say it's a small economy, but Canada does not have 40 million people of their own. But almost, at least of those 40 million, like 30 million or 35 million have got jobs. And out of those 35 million jobs, not even 5 million are by government. So you see, the private sector, that is where the $1 billion question comes. Here, the private sector, for example, Canada does not have its own, say, motor vehicle brand. But Canada is one of the biggest motor vehicle manufacturing place in North America. In fact, the only place that makes more vehicles than Canada, and most of the factories are here in a place called Markham, here in Toronto, is Detroit. So be it when you see a GMC, when you see a Chevrolet, when you see a Toyota, when you see a Honda, all of them are made here. So what am I saying? And now, if I pick that example of the vehicles, there are Canadians who run the dealerships. And when you run a dealership, your business is $1 billion. In Kenya, last year, if I use last year as an example, only Safaricom made $1 billion of profit. So really in Kenya, the company you can call $1 billion business is Safaricom. So what is my story all about? One of the, I think is the way we have been trained, you know, the colonialism and all that. As a people, we have always seen ourselves as employees. But what Gen Z showed the other day, we really need to transition and start doing what Unity Homes is doing, what Pazina is doing, what, you know, all these people. So that, and even Pazina and the Unity Homes don't be content with making a few millions, and that is a Kenyan sickness. You know, somebody makes a little money, then he buys a big VX and ameshafika. Yet, in this Canada here, Canada has about 20 multinationals that are in the Fortune 500 companies. As in, these are companies, these are billion-dollar businesses. And these billion-dollar businesses are not owned by American, they're owned by Canadian, from Royal Bank of Canada to Manulife and all this. So you see, really, if Kenya imagines itself big, in the African context, when you count, say, the top 500 companies in Africa, Kenya can maybe come up with 10. The rest come from South Africa. So what you're doing here when you hear Carl's Redefined, when you hear Pazurina, the idea is, how do we, because you see, Kenya needs the Pazurinas tomorrow to be a stock exchange company that has got serious money in capital to be able to do big things. When you are here, you see a lot of roads, and then that is how we can change the paradigm, so that we build things for our country. We build our country. We, as somebody was saying during the riot, we, the people, we must build that country. And that is why Alex Chamwada comes in with Champs Media in trying to sell this story. How do we do this? And we do this way, like having these shows so that Kenyans can invest back home, so that you can showcase Canada, so that the Kenyans who have got money home can come and invest here. So that if a Kenyan who has got $5-10 million US invest here and has like 100 petrol stations in Canada, then that Kenyan alone can employ 2,000 Kenyans whom he can send LMIA to come from Kenya. It does not just happen like that. So you see, the notion that Kenyans are coming here is worked both ways. So that once the Kenyans come here and Royal Bank knows the Kenyans own 30% of the petrol station of Shell and another 40% of the petrol station of Esso, then Royal Bank will think about going to Kenya or funding projects in Kenya. You see, that is the story you need to do it, such that True Group can now be the big player they are by enabling, once you enable the Kenyans in Toronto say, if it is Njeri and Wamboi, you are able to start a company of yours, you say, we want to become a private equity firm. So that tomorrow, when say you want to privatize stadiums, you can be able to buy the stadium so that you don't complain it is going to non-Kenyans. We are the people who have the skin in the game. So I truly, sincerely believe you do it both ways. Once you've got a stake here, the Canadian authorities respect you as a Kenyan community here. So when they are speaking, of course, we have a good brand as a country, because even when dealing with the Canadian government, they listen to what we are telling them, because they think what we are telling them is of value. But how that value come about is by Kenyans who are here punching high. Whichever job you're doing it well. But where the biggest stakes are for us to play in the billion-dollar business, we need to go into business so that Cars Redefined becomes a billion-dollar business, such that TG, True Group, Zoher, becomes a billion-dollar business. Unity Homes becomes a billion-dollar business. Are we together? Chams Media becomes a billion-dollar business. When you are a billion-dollar business, if you use the example of Safaricom, you can employ at least 15,000 people. And every year, you give away to the people who invest in you something like 26 billion Kenya shillings. So the story is this: we have always, and that is why we come here and listen to each other, let's think bigger. You see, the problem with Kenya, there is this thing we have that we don't see ourselves as big players. You see, like, the biggest companies we have, like the multinational, for example, you can talk about in Kenya, is Kenya Airways. That is really what you would call a truly multinational Kenyan company, because it has presence in 50 countries. Okay. KCB, Equity try, the Kenyan banks try because they are in another 7, 8 countries. But if you want to see why, for example, South Africa is a big hitter, because they not only own stakes in South African businesses, like by the time Alibaba was coming up, the biggest investor in Alibaba was South Africans, a South African company. And now the company I'm talking about is the company Jackie creates here through the Biashara Africa Club. That is what is, like now Tracy, I like the fact that Tracy Muriithi has stated early, you need to do something again. Billion-dollar business, and what Njeri was talking about here, you brand. You need to think around, how do we have a brand that has a signature that is quintessentially Kenyan? Because you see, when Magati is dressed like this, there is something in selling, so that is distinctive. You see, we need to put all these things together. But where do we begin? We begin here. And then how do we play all this game? By say, for example, we have the 50,000 Kenyans we have. Even if we picked the serious ones here in Canada are 1,000. Okay. This 1,000, we have 100 coming together, forming a company as best as they imagine it, who buy homes in Unity Homes. And if you want to diversify, you don't only need to buy in Unity. Buy 5 in Unity, buy whole day homes, do Optiven and all that. So that now, in future, you are building your capital to be able to really do things that change things. So if there is something I'm leaving you today, because I was supposed to become a preacher, I can talk the whole evening. The thing I'm leaving, think about $1 billion. And let's start, I think another thing we need to quickly start doing in Kenya, let's start thinking in dollar terms. Because in Kenya, you know, sometimes you make some little money, then suddenly, you know, it becomes a big deal. Let's talk about $1 billion. Think about $1 billion business. How do you, within your networks, work towards building $1 billion business? You went to school, like you was talking about St. Peter's Mumias. How do you dig into your network? For example, Shares Biashara Club. One of the things you're trying to activate in the mission now is the Biashara Club, trying to look for like-minded people, bringing them together to open an account, say in KCB, a corporate account, not a chama account. How that business, how do you, if you want to invest, there are things that Kenyans should be doing, either as you save in NSSF, there are bonds to be bought. There are many things to be done. So the thing is, but the best way to really multiply and shorten the period you are running to become $1 billion business is to look for like-minded people, especially the Kenyans here, to start a company. Achana mambo ya chama. Chamas are good, but they're a bit staggered. You know, like what most chamas do, you contribute 5,000, you give the next guy. You're doing a lot of things that really quintessentially, they cannot take you anywhere close to $1 billion, like target. So the idea is, take your time, look for your 10 friends. In fact, start from 20. Try to recruit the ones who come on board. Form a company, because like now where Kenya is going tomorrow, Kenyans want to own Kenya, but they don't have the capital. So, Jeremy, your people, how do they start owning Kenya? By saying, there are 1,800 being built by Unity. Optiven is selling land here. You need to have capital so that in the company, you have got a company saying, Njeri has a company with these 10 Kenyans called Kenya Moto, another one, so that when you have these stakes, your balance sheet looks, you have a fixed asset called homes that are about $1 million in Unity Homes. You have got an holiday home in Pazina. Those are the kind of things we should be thinking about. So my prayer is, think about $1 billion business, re-energize your networks. It is really important. Have investment clubs. You see, like, let's look at your network is your net worth. Be it your high school, be it your college, try to see now you can, because at least you know each other, you can be able to do due diligence on each other. Because if we do that, then tomorrow, when there will be another offering of an airport to be run, then Kenyans can be able to raise the 150 billion Adan is raising. Are we together? So let's think about that and let's work at it. You see, if you look at the way Indians work, like here in Canada, you can see their experience. In Walmart, for example, in Canada, chances are, you need to organize. You see, another thing we need to work on Kenyans as we move towards a $1 billion business, we have a low trust people. That is why I'm saying we need to work towards, look at those 10 of friends and try to be authentic, try to have integrity, so that people can trust you, because without trust, it's very hard, it's very difficult. I remember when I was starting out in life in Nairobi, one time we were doing a business plan for some gentleman, but then this gentleman was coming from the Patel, I think the Patels have a community. So that time Safaricom had just begun. This guy needed 10 million to open a distributor for Safaricom. Some old muzee came from Mombasa, flew in from Mombasa, came, surveyed the place, what he wants to do. He didn't even look at our business plan. He asked the young man a few questions, and 10 million somehow materialized. And because they had a high trust, and how do you build the high trust? But kuna kidogo tuko nao kama wa Kenya. We really need to stop that, because you see, if you want to do $1 billion business, these businesses are done by integrity, by honesty. Because you see, this business can be built. Because Safaricom, like now, Kenyans run serious businesses. Like now, Standard Bank South Africa is run by Kenyans. The other day, you heard a story of this Kenyan who was swindled by Pepsi, I think, who had built the formulas for Pepsi in the US. So it's not that we don't have the capacity, but we really need to sort out that small game. If we want to play the big game, the $1 billion, have meetings, have monthly meetings, but the meetings should be, how do you, in another 10, 15 years, in the small company you have started, how do you say, for example, she has a brand, and now that's another thing, To build a brand, the brand must have integrity. There are no shortcuts. How do you enable her, or how do you, when you hear she has got this brand, how do we play ball? For example, Nike, literally, is the one that gives gear and footwear to Kenyan athletes to win the marathon. Why can't Kenya have, as a brand? Because you already have the capacity. Why not? So you see, but now the people are the ones who do that. We must have the ethic. As if you come here to Canada, succeed here, it means you have what it takes to do it. So the idea is, how do we harness that? How do we start building towards that? Because the Canada, 10, 15 years from now, it's not going to be the same. And always remember, it is urgent. Because an average human being has only 4,000 weeks. It's not a lot of time. A year has 52 weeks. So with all those many weeks, remember some numbers. 4,000 weeks, $1 billion, you understand? 10 friends. Work on those numbers. I want to thank you very much, and I wish you a fantastic evening.
Kidogo tu Balozi. I believe you have one or two questions. A quick one for Balozi. Any question for Balozi? Go ahead.
No. Okay. Because there must be governments in job. This is what happens. In diplomacy, you either have a political appointee or a career diplomat as a head of mission. Head of mission is apparently now the boss, the high commissioner. That was appointed I think she's about to come. It's just paperwork. Her name is Caroline Kamende Daudi. She will be coming. For me, I'm here as number 2, deputy head of mission. I'm an ambassador of the title ambassador because I've been working through the system for the last 20 years. So for now, that is my position. But should you have any issue, even when the High Commissioner is here, I can always help you. You don't need to get worried. Yes. So that is the position. No, I'm here. Just in case you need any consultation on how we can work and make the Kenyans here thrive. We have every desire, really, to tell you the list, to make sure that we leave a mark here in whichever way we're going to be doing it. So that Kenyans can also have their Hyundai, can get jobs in Hyundai. And how do you get jobs in Hyundai, Canada? By having a dealership in Hyundai. So we convince some Kenyans who have got 10, 15 million Kenyan shillings to invest. They come here. We employ Kenyans to come and know how to run a dealership. So maybe we end up now in Kenya properly, making our own cars or trying to see how we can convince Hyundai or whatever it is to have a plant in Kenya so that we know how to run dealerships, or car dealerships for that matter. Thank you. Any other question? Like as I was telling you, we want to assist Kenyans to come here. But you see, you come here it's about opportunity. What is happening, there's what we call political economy. As I've just been telling you, you need to own capital because we are bringing labor. You understand? The Lebanese who have got capital have already taken all the dealership for Hyundai. So there is no job for a Kenyan to work in Hyundai. You get? If it's Walmart, the Indians are already full. So chances are, and in Canada, as the guys who live here in Canada will tell you, jobs are by reference. Nasema, unajua Moni, he talks too much, but I think he can do a good job. You understand? So the guy you are telling maybe will feel like, okay, fine, bring him on. So you see, we want to bring them. But we don't also want to bring them because, like last year, we got about 4,000 Kenyans. In fact, over 4,000. Maybe, but the number, now if you want to get a surprise, the year earlier, only 200 Kenyans applied for asylum. Like saying, mimi ni sisi kwa sisi, I'm LGBTQ, So ideally you come and unasema mimi niko hivi, nataka nisaidiwe hivi. Mwingine anasema kama ni Mkristo anasema sisi kwetu kuna uchawi, watu wanataka kunimaliza. You see, walikuwa 200. Unaona? Sasa mwaka jana wamekuja 3,000 wameomba asylum. Wakisiwa ngapi wanaweza kuwa wachawi, si kwa ubaya. Unaona? Shida unaweza bado ukuja hauku unawiri, lakini itakuchukua muda. Na vile nimesema, kila mmoja wetu anazikiwa kwa wastani wiki 4,000 za kuishi. Sasa ukija hapa upoteze wiki kama 500 ukingojea makaratasi. Unaona? Ndio vizuri tunasema tunataka Wakenya wakuje, lakini wakuje kwa mpangilio ili wasije kama sasa. Kwa sababu hiyo saizi simuenda ubalozi wa Canada, ilikuwa rahisi kupata visa, inachukua wakati, haikuwa inachukua wakati, ni hayo maswala. Unaona sasa? Yani tunataka tusaidie, lakini njia moja, kama kuna njia shwari ya kusaidiana vile nimekuambia, kwanza tulete biashara hapa, tujue vile tunafanya biashara ya $1 billion. Alafu turudi sasa nyumbani, tupatie watu kazi wapi? Nyumbani kwao. Unaona? Si ndio umekuja watu wanunue nyumba nyumbani. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu jambo la muhimu, nyumbani ndio inatakikana tujenge. Kwa sababu hapa kujenga kwetu akusaidii sana kwa sababu washajenga. Unaona?
This is the last one. We need to start winding up. This is the last question.
Oh, thank you so much, Balozi. My name is Nyerere from Konki TV or Konki Media. Thanks for the remarks. I just have a few remarks to make regarding your address. So I think there are 2 critical items which Balozi touched on. The first one is on trust. And I believe some of the aspects of trust that we doubt ourselves as Kenyans can be addressed if we have an audit on some of the policies we have, including the immigration and foreign affairs policies. For example, as a Kenyan, I get my ID at 18, right? That's when I can say proudly I am Kenyan because I have that identification. I get my passport when I need to travel, yet when I'm in Singapore, I'll show my passport to show that I'm Kenyan, not my Kenyan ID. It might not be accepted in some regions in the world. How about Kenya starts giving people passports as an identification document, not a travel document, right when they are born. That way, you can follow up on someone. Right now, let's say the government says, we are giving people 500 Kenyan shillings, everyone. How will they reach to all the Kenyans to get the 500 if we don't have proper data in our systems? I think that's one area that we need to address on this trust issue. And secondly, about building a $1 billion company. It's not a one-man's job. It needs collaboration between different players. Yes, the private sector can create millions of jobs, but they can't do it alone. How about we become intentional in creating an ecosystem where the education system, the private sector, and the government all come together. Universities are working with the private sector. A company is maybe trying a prototype. They work with the university students in their projects, with funding, of course, from the government. Then this company, of course, they will have internships and have students from University of Nairobi, from Moi University. Then these graduates, they have the relevant skills needed for that kind of workplace in the 21st century. Then that way, they can easily go to the workplace and have jobs. About entrepreneurship, all of us can't be entrepreneurs, but how about we have an education system where we have entrepreneurship mindsets and skills developed and nurtured on these students. That way, we create an ecosystem where we don't have unemployment rates of over 50%. Thank you so much.
Okay, tumpigie Balozi makofi. And thank you so much for those comments. As Balozi goes to sit, we really want to appreciate your time. Asante sana. I think makofi hajatosha. Well, Susan, we have very few minutes to wind up because I'm told there's another function here. So maybe we can preserve, we can ask on, there are platforms maybe through the leader or after, tutakuwa na some moment na interact, if you don't mind, because we really have to wind up. Unless it's really burning, Susan. I can see unasimama. Yeah, very quick, a minute. Unaona Hassan ashasimama. We'll have a few minutes to wind up. Very, very fast. It's a question, is it?
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. All protocol observed. Thank you for this opportunity. Bona Barozi, now that you are on the ground, please, we need you to take care of the demographic of about our students. We need to know, because as I'm speaking from the position of a leader, a spiritual leader, community leader, we have a big problem. Students are coming here and they just begin to do all manner of things. We are called, this one has gotten mad, this one is this, especially the young men. We need the office, your office now. Kindly, you need to have a demographic, where these people are, how we can reach them, and all that. You need to work with the local leaders so that you can know, because we have a lot of problem. Personally, I've been able to bury, 3, 4, which is sad. Others, we rescue them, we take them for rehabilitation. Others, it's crazy. Now that you are on the ground, I don't want to speak ill about your office, but previously, there was a gap. But now that you're there, there are things you need to take charge. And then also, you need to have a leaders' council. A leaders' council that will be giving you the assistance that you need on the ground. There are many things that are going on. Many complaints have been going on. We thank God for the ambassador. She's tried her best, but the work is overwhelming. Kindly take up that office, your side, and make sure that these things are lined up. We are requesting humbly that the office, your office, work with the community, because their effect has not been really being felt too much. Thank God they cooperate with KCO, and we've been working together in KCO, but they need to be felt on the ground. Thank you so much, and we know there is a lot of work for you to do. And for all of us, please, we have a responsibility with each other. As long as you are a Kenyan, take care of your brother, take care of your sister. Don't leave this work for the pastors. We are not too many. We might not be able to do that. But in case you have a need, you have something you want the pastors to take care of, I am the one who coordinates the pastors, the Kenyan community pastors. So please, don't die alone. Don't let our people, just be left there on their own. We are here for you. Just reach out. Don't just, because we have a lot of challenges, Barozi. People don't have jobs here. People are struggling in this country. Others are in depression. Others are in debt. Please, something needs to be done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And the good thing, Balozi has agreed to be with us again tomorrow. So we will attend church service at Ahadi Anglican Church. And then after the church service, we'll remain there to continue with these interactions, and Balozi will be able to answer more questions. So for those online who are asking if there is more, yes, there is more. Tomorrow we will be at Ahadi. Let me just read the address quickly to remind you. It is on 1695 Dufferin Street, Toronto. See you tomorrow at Ahadi Church. And on that note, we are winding up, but a quick one. Someone just asked, the lady you are saying you assisted to do visa, anaitwa Nancy Anemba. Someone was saying you didn't tell us the name. Another one asked, so Balozi alikuwa anafanya nini Goma? Ulisema alikuwa huko. He was Consul General that time in Goma, yani Balozi Mudogo Goma. Daniel was not here when we were doing our opening remarks. Simama wakuone. I'm sure you'll be able to speak tomorrow. Yeah. He's helped us coordinate. Phoebe, you are well represented by Jeremy. I've seen you've come to join us here. Thank you for supporting. Phoebe Kagumba from the Kenya community in Ontario. Clap for Phoebe. Yes, kilicho na mwanzo hakikosi kuwa na mwisho. On that note, I think we need to wind up. But to remind you that this is the beginning. We'll do it again next year. But wind this Daring Abroad journey that we began in Australia with us tomorrow at Ahadi Church. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Chams Media TV. Kuna neno lingine from my team, Patrick and Edison Mutumba. He's worked hard to make sure we are live, and you've been watched close to 2,000 people so far. So, asanteni sana. Hassan, you see, Easter imeonekana, 2,000 people across the world. And thank you so much for your hospitality. We appreciate so much. This was one of our best venues. If you've not spoken, you are really to speak. There's always another time. Spare that minute for tomorrow. Simunipigie makofi. So, Lillian will kill me if I don't mention. Lillian Simama, you know this network. So Lillian found me online and said, hey, I'm here in Vancouver. She used to work for Standard, and she said I interviewed her in a story in 2017. I can't even remember. What was it about?
I used to work for the Standard Digital. When we were working for broadcast, I was working for
Yeah. And I did a story about you too.
No,
tusimame sote. Thank you, Lillian. Tusimame. And I volunteer for a prayer. And then I'm sure you can get contacts of the exhibitors, and we still have time tomorrow. I like having people volunteer. Joseph is volunteering to pray for us, and I know he has one small announcement I've remembered. Asante, Joseph, you will wind up as you give us that announcement.
Asante sana. We appreciate. We also appreciate the way you've come in big numbers. This is amazing. This is wonderful. This is the spirit of Kenya. And we feel, because of the way you've been so amazing to us, the hospitality, you know, you've given us your time. And we know time here is very expensive. We've been driven. One night we went to a place to have dinner. And after dinner, around almost midnight, they organized how they were to drive us back to our hotels, 40 kilometers away. I never imagined that can be done for free. In Kenya, it's rare, especially in Nairobi. And now we are saying, when you come back in Kenya, you arrive at the airport, kindly notify us before you come. We'll have our vehicles there. We have so many drivers to pick you. And most importantly, when you arrive in coastal Kenya, at the airport, Miritini SGR, we have our vehicles there. We shall be able to pick you for free to your destination. And that is the way we can only reciprocate, because this is so amazing. You are supporting us to do business in this country. God bless you so much. Let us take time and pray and thank God for this opportunity. King of Glory, we want to thank you for this amazing time you've given us with Kenyans in Canada, Ontario, Toronto. We thank you for the journey masses, for us being able to come over to this place, and all of us to be able to meet here in this hall. We've been able to discuss a lot. May it be fruitful, may it be beneficial to all of us. And Lord, we want to pray that we shall be having many more chances to gather, to do business, to build ourselves, to build even our country back home. May you give us the wisdom. May you lead us as we make decisions. King of Glory, provide resources that we shall continue to build each other and also build our country. And may you also give our leaders wisdom, oh God, that they may lead our people in our country to greater heights, oh God. May they have the wisdom to expand the economy, the wisdom to give us the systems that we need, oh God. We also pray that, God, you will give us a way out of the evil challenges that has held our country for so long, like corruption, oh God. And we pray that you will open up our leaders' eye, that they shall be able to know that those are challenges which can be managed so that business is able to be done in a way that is comfortable and also in a way that encourages many more investors to come back and invest in our country. And Lord, we know we have the best in the world. You've given us the best weather in our country. You have given us so many resources. It's all about management. If we manage our resources well, it is able to provide opportunities for all of us. Thank you for this moment. And Lord, when we shall be able to meet together, we shall always glorify your name. We pray, trusting in the name of Jesus. Amen.
So, asanteni, feel nice as you go. Exchange contacts and see you tomorrow. And for those who are looking for a YouTube channel, inaitwa Chams Media TV. Chams Media TV.